So today I'm going to go kind of as in-depth as I feel necessary about what battery effect status is in Marvel's Avengers and how you can achieve battery status effect and how it's going to be useful just in general when you're trying to do these harder events like the OLT and the raid. So if you enjoyed this video today, feel free to like and subscribe for future Marvel content. So for starters, I'm going to direct you to this very extremely crude chart that I made because there are better charts out there, but I feel like if I'm going to be making a video on this, I know it's videos that have been made before, but I want to make one that I have on my channel. So if I'm going to make one for myself, I kind of want to make the chart for myself as well. So it's very crude. I'm not really a good Photoshop editor or anything like that, but it gets the basics out there, right? So we have a positive charge and we have a negative charge. I will throw out there as well that there is now kind of a neutral charge, which the webbing status effect is considered in, which I'll go kind of over in a little bit. But in the positive charge section, you have cosmic, plasma, particle, and vibranium. And in the negative charge, we have cryo, gamma, shock, and sonic, right? So cosmic makes the enemies glow yellow, and they take constant cosmic damage, which can sometimes revive health back to you while you're hitting them. I also find that it makes them more susceptible to damage in general. That might just be status effects in general, though. Plasma makes the enemy glow red, and it applies kind of a burning effect that basically can let you interrupt enemies' attacks. Particle damage allows the enemies to glow pink, and it can shrink them, and it lowers their damage and their resistances. I also see that this makes them more susceptible to damage from what I've seen, similar to what Cosmic does. And then Vibranium basically makes them glow purple, and it makes them kind of explode into a large kinetic explosion that can set off chain reactions to other nearby enemies. I also personally find that Vibranium can make them more susceptible to damage if you try to hit them with a general attack while they're infected with Vibranium. But again, that just might be the fact that there is status effect on them in general. And then for the negative charges, so we have Cryo. So Cryo makes them glow kind of a very light blue or a white, and it slows the enemies way down and it lowers their resistances. Then we have Gamma, which makes them glow green and basically take a type of poison damage, which then ends in a gamma explosion. Shock makes them glow a dark blue, and it increases the critical damage that you can do on them. And then Sonic basically makes them kind of pulsate, almost like pulsate a yellow line, like an aura around them, and when you're near them, it will slowly regenerate your heroic and your intrinsic meters while you're nearby the enemy who has Sonic onto them. Now, with that being said, what battery status effect is, right? Battery status effect is when you have a positive charge or a negative charge status effect on the enemy, and then you hit them with an opposite charge. That's just flat out what battery effect is. So, for example, if you have them afflicted with cosmic positive charge, and then while they're afflicted with cosmic, if you hit them with a shock move, it will do way increased damage, creating that battery effect. Same thing goes if you had, let's say, gamma charge afflicted to them, and then you did particle damage or vibranium damage. The point is if you hit them with a positive charge while they're affected by negative, or if you hit them with a negative charge while they're affected by positive, it'll deal a way increased amount of damage. Now, as far as the neutral charges go, there's only one thing that's in neutral charge right now, and it's actually Spider-Man's webs. And I actually tested this out, and I looked it up just to make sure, and the webs do not apply to the battery effect, unfortunately, but it does make sense because Spider-Man is a PlayStation exclusive, and they didn't kind of want to give PlayStation players too much of a difference in the game. So web status effect is the only one right now that falls into neutral, and I am probably guaranteeing it's going to be the only one that ever falls into neutral. So with that being said, I'm going to give a quick demonstration on how to apply status effects using vibranium and gamma damage on my Hulk. So as you can see, whether I have the gamma afflicted on the enemy or the vibranium afflicted on the enemy, when the battery status effect is taking place, you can see that your damage numbers are glowing a bright neon green. That's how you know you're basically doing the most damage as possible. Now, you can also tell from the video that I have the custom harm room on brutal because I was killing everything too fast. So I promise you, if it doesn't look like it's that much damage to you, it is when you're playing on a normal level. You do a crap ton of damage using battery effect. And I'm actually going to end this video with a better clip of me fighting the super adaptoid in the Omega level threat. Now, I'm not by myself, but you can see exactly how much damage I'm doing and how effective it is in an actual hard event. But that about wraps up the battery status effect. All you have to remember is that you have to apply the opposite status effect depending on what category it is. So you honestly want to just make sure you're applying, it depends on who you're using at the end of the day, right? So with Hulk, for example, Hulk, you can have his abilities have an inherent gamma effect. So it might be good to do that, like how I do, and then have all your attacks be positively charged. And then same thing goes with Thor. Thor has inherent shock on his abilities. So you can do the same, and Cryo as well. He has inherent Cryo on his God Blast. So then you can make his all of his attacks positive charged if that's the way you want it to go. And this is obviously helpful now that we have different pieces of gear that have multiple different status effects on. So this is just something to consider when trying to make your builds for the end game content. The battery effect damage really helped, but comment down below any type of build you have that revolves around battery effect and if you think it's useful or not. And I will leave with the clip with the battery effect being used against the super adaptoid Omega level threat. And I appreciate you watching the video.